Hi everyone, Dead Battery here, and thank you for joining me on my channel. So today's video is going to be another trash find. This is kind of an exciting one. It's not normally something that I would pick up. This time I actually found a Roomba. And those are those little robots that go around your house and vacuum up everything. When I originally picked it up, there were a lot of ants on it. So I put it in a trash bag and I brought it inside and I kind of just let it sit around for a bit, waiting to see if there were any ants or there was anything else wrong. I didn't know what could be wrong with this. I didn't even know if it worked, but I thought it'd be something fun to give a go. Might as well use it for the building I work in. I thought it'd be kind of funny. So we'll see. At work, I actually took the bottom plate off just to see if there was anything else wrong with it and to remove the battery because once again it had rained where I was at and I didn't want to cause any more damage to it. I did find some videos to help me understand how the iRobot came apart. On YouTube, the gentleman's name is the iRobot channel. He has a lot of videos and he does help you understand how to take apart your Roombas and clean them or repair them and just to understand them in general. So it's really great. I will leave a link below for his channel in case you have a Roomba at home that you want to take apart and clean. There are a lot of screws in a lot of places on these, so I would highly suggest if you are taking one apart, get yourself a little bucket or somewhere that you can keep track of all of the different screws. I ended up taking mine apart and putting it back in a tub. Since I didn't know what kind of house it came from, I wasn't too sure if they had animals or not, and I didn't want it to affect my house or my pets. I did keep it in a separate container for later cleaning. Once you get all the components out, it does make it easier to clean. There is a sensor in the front and it is connected by wires, so be careful when you're taking it apart so that you don't break any of the wires. Once you get the sensor off, to keep track of it, I just put it back together and put the screws back in so I wouldn't lose them. As you can see, there is tons of dog hair trapped in the front wheel, so I'm suspecting that it came from a house with a couple dogs. So I had to come back to this the next day. I could not figure out how to get this front plate off. Every video I saw that I could find, people were just pulling them right off. I was struggling. I wasn't sure if mine had a screw somewhere that I didn't know about, being the model it was. if there was something different they did. So I put it away. I got my finger pinched. I didn't want to break it. And then I watched a couple more videos. The next day, I came back to it and I was like, I'm just going to pull this off. And if it breaks, it breaks. It was free. It easily snaps off. So in case you're having trouble with yours, just give it a good tug and it'll pop off. The handle pops out, and after you get all the screws off, you can pull off the front faceplate. The top of this did have some interesting screws. I haven't actually been able to use the driver bit, but it was a triangle. I've never seen one before, but it was in my toolkit, so I was happy to use something different. To get the motherboard off, it was a little tricky. Once again, I didn't really want to break anything, so I tried to just pry it up. But once you can get under there, it should pop off easily. All you do is remove all of the wires, and from there you can basically clean it off. So at this point I did completely clean it, or as good as I could. Some of the parts were kind of hard to get into and perfectly clean, and it didn't look like it was upkept as well as it possibly could have. But I did get all the hair off it. I did wipe any dirt off of it. So now I'm just going to backtrack and put it back together. As I mentioned, it's fairly easy to take apart, and putting it back together is easy as well. I think the hardest part about putting it back together is the sensor here, because you do have to position it properly, and getting your fingers in that area may be a little difficult. The last part was cleaning off the bottom faceplate, and as you can see, there's a lot of grit and dust caught up in there, so I'm just rubbing it down with some alcohol, just cleaning it off. So in the end, this iRobot Roomba was not as difficult as I thought it was going to be taking apart. And that prompted me to actually take ours apart at home. And let me just say, if you own a Roomba and you have lots of hair, or you have a cat or a dog, please keep up with your iRobot. Mine had so much hair wrapped around the wheels. I was completely surprised. Take them apart, look up videos. iFixit has videos on how to switch out your brushes. The more you upkeep something, the easier it is for you to keep it going, where if you completely ignore it, it could break. I'm not too sure why this Roomba was in the trash. There didn't seem to be anything wrong with it. I wasn't too sure because I didn't have the correct type of charger for it, but I did put an APB out on some of the yard sale sites asking if anybody had a spare charger, and a nice gentleman actually donated another Roomba with a charger that was the same type, so I was able to charge it and have a second Roomba. After I charged it, it worked completely fine. It actually picked up so much dust. I brought it to my work, and as you can see, I did set it loose in the hallways, and I thought this was awesome. I do work in a fairly large building, so it's kind of nice just to set it out there and set it loose. After I found out that it worked, I did go and buy replacement brushes and another charger so that I can set both of the Roombas out to clean the hallways. And it's awesome. We gave them silly little names. It's great. I found something in the trash that wasn't broken. I'm not too sure why it was in the trash, but if you have a Roomba or you have a vacuum cleaner, take it apart, clean it. If it's not working, look up some videos on how to fix it, or even ask around and see if somebody wants it. It's a lot of money to dispose of electronics, and it will save some people money. Thank you for watching my channel. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you liked it, please like and subscribe, and I will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.